Hi guys, well let's look at the only 5 Kindle tips that self-publishers need to know, particularly dealing with reflowable format books. Now this is inside Publisher version 3.1. Do not build a print style decorative layout and assume it will make a good reflowable Kindle file. If it is a novel, keep the structure simple and text-led from the beginning. If it is image heavy or design critical, plan it as a fixed layout from the start. For reflowable Kindle books, build with paragraph styles, not visual overrides. Kindle conversion works best when your manuscript is structurally clean. Amazon recommends Kindle Create for reflowable books because it detects chapters, builds a simple table of contents, handles hyperlinks, and applies responsive typesetting across phones, tablets, and e-readers. That only goes smoothly when your source file has clear heading levels and consistent body styling. Now the 5 tips, and I'm focusing on reflowable books here. This is what you normally use for an EPUB on Kindle. Tip 1 through to 5. Set first line paragraph indentations. Set paragraph spacing. 3. Set leading. That's line spacing. And 4. Format chapter titles. And 5. Add page breaks between chapters. Tip 1. Set first line paragraphs and scene break indentations. In professionally formatted reflowable Kindle EPUBs, the first paragraph of a chapter, or after a scene break, typically does not have a first line indent. All subsequent paragraphs in the chapter do use a first line indent. That's quite important to remember. For a professional Kindle ebook, always remove the first line indent from the first paragraph of each chapter and after scene breaks, while maintaining indents for all subsequent paragraphs. Now let's see how we do this. The first line indent. Publishing for Kindle ebooks or even KDP ebooks or print books for that matter require consistency of typesetting, how your words appear on the page. Now first line indent, this refers to the first line of every paragraph being indented by a specific amount, but not set by pressing the Tab key. Go to the paragraph panel and set first line indent to 0.25 inches. Now I'm using 0.25 inches here. You can translate that to millimeters or points or whatever you wish in any manner of converting it. You can see the chapter title there. The first paragraph after the chapter title does not have a first line indent, but the subsequent paragraphs do have a first line indent. And you can set those simply by going to paragraph, the paragraph panel, and go to spacing, and in the spacing it shows you where to do that. And that's right here. Paragraph spacing. Do not put returns between paragraphs. If you press the Enter key, you will end up with ugly breaks in your Kindle book and very poorly formatted text, including missing pages. Go to the paragraph panel and set space before paragraph and space after paragraph to 0 millimeters or 0 points or 0 inches. In other words, 0. And you can see space after and space before there. Now, tip 3, leading or line spacing. Different fonts set at the same point size may not appear the same size on the page. A side effect is that fonts that run small will need less line spacing and vice versa. Go to the Paragraphs panel and set leading to 130%. This will change then to, in this case, 15.6, which is correct for the Times New Roman 12-point font that I have in this document. And you can see there's a drop down there in spacing where you can set default exactly height at least. Now we're using a percentage of height, and for 12-point Times New Roman set it to 130%. Now, important line spacing notes. Line spacing is usually 120 to 130% of the point size. Line spacing is the vertical distance between lines of text. Most writers use either double space lines or single space lines, nothing in between, because these are the options presented by word processors. The traditional term for line spacing is leading, rhymes with bedding, so named because traditional print shops put strips of lead between lines of type to increase vertical space. Sometimes you see this term in typesetting software. For most text, the optimal line spacing is between 120% and 130% of the point size. Most word processors, as well as CSS, let you define line spacing as a multiple, or you can do the math. Multiply your point size by the percentage. The text in this particular paragraph has line spacing of 135%. It looks fine. For most text, the optimal line spacing is between 120% and 145% of the point size. Most word processors, as well as CSS, let you define line spacing as a multiple, as I just mentioned, or you can do the math. The text in this paragraph has line spacing of 170%. It's too loose. Now, line spacing notes. Best leading for KDP reflowable EPUBs. Although Kindle devices ultimately allow readers to control line spacing, so why would you bother setting it anyway? Setting an appropriate base value ensures a clean and consistent EPUB export. Very important. And there's your recommendations there. Font size, leading mode, leading percentage, space before and after, and the first line indent of each paragraph. And as it notes there, except for the first paragraph of a chapter. First line indents are an indication of a new paragraph, so you don't need space before and space after paragraphs. The leading percentage is equivalent to standard auto leading, which a lot of other applications have, but not version 3.1. Leading mode is a percentage of font size which is EPUB friendly and scalable. And font size of 11 to 12 point is common for fiction and narrative non-fiction, keeping in mind that most Kindle readers allow the reader to adjust font size and leading and all the rest of it, but we're looking at your clean export document. Now, tip 4, format chapter titles. This is kind of important, and you can see I've got chapter titles there. The chapter title in the Kindle ebook does not need any special formatting other than to tell Kindle that it's a chapter heading, usually style heading 1. If you've created your own chapter 1 style, and use that. It's best not to set this in a master page, but simply move through the document and set each heading to style heading 1. When Kindle Creator formats your document, it will see these headings and use them for the auto-generated table of contents if you select it. If you generate your own table of contents, it will look strange and conflict with the Kindle one because Kindle documents don't have page numbers. And last but not least, tip number 5. Add page breaks after chapters. Because of the way Kindle works and the ability for users to change almost everything about the document, you need some separation between chapters. Don't use carriage returns. You should insert page breaks. These will be seen as what they are, and there will be separation between the end of one chapter and the start of another. And that's how you do it. And this is how it looks in Publisher. There's a page break there between the top page and chapter 2. And if you want to see those page breaks, select Text and Show Page Breaks from the toolbar, and it shows up as a sort of down arrow little icon there. And that tells you immediately that that's where there's a page break. Other things of importance. In your document, don't forget to add front matter, and that includes title, dedication, copyright, and add back matter, and that includes about the author and perhaps a bibliography. The back matter is a great area for further promotion, where you put all the books you've had, or a bio, things like that. Okay, thanks for watching this brief little tutorial. Please remember to subscribe and tap the thumbs up to like. Don't forget, if you're sending a book to Kindle to be an EPUB, you only need those 5 tips to remember. Otherwise, the hard part is writing the book. See you in the next video.